Welcome to In the Dugout, Carl. Who have we got alongside you this week?
We've got King Craig Harrison. Obviously, Craig was the one I blame for bringing me back into the game, and when him and Shane owned the club, they come and headhunted me. So welcome, Craig. He's now obviously one of the leading player agents in the country, and he's just come in to have a meeting with me and Gary about looking at trying to get some of his boys for next year. What do your players like, Craig?
Well, I ain't got a bad one. I'm not got a bad player. Now I've come today, obviously, to see you, to see what we've got next year, see what you're looking at. I think we've got about 66 players on the books now, maybe 20 internationals, a lot of good young kids. I've definitely got even coming back to the stadium today, I've got a loyalty and it feels right, so hopefully we can do something for Carl and the club for next year.
See, the thing with Craig, he's a Donny man, see. So obviously we're all doing it tough, and he's been on the phone every day trying to help us out, and he came down and met Paul, and we're just trying to get things right for the club. I know he wants the club to do well. We can all have a bit of banter and a bit of crack, but when he says he wants to help the club, he genuinely means that, because he's a Donny boy.
I've seen what it means to you, Craig, when you walked out here and went, wow, look at the pitch here.
It just said to Cameron there, it never stops. Every time you walk out, the memories come flooding back. I'm thinking of when we used to have the away at 5-0 when we scored a try. We'd all be dancing on balcony with a gallon down us. It just seemed like a party, didn't it? It was a great year. I never forget it. People ask me a lot, do I have regrets about it? I said, I never regret it. I might regret losing brass and spending a year and a half of my life, but I never regret it.
Was those the memories that come back?
100%.
Was the amount of money you lost?
No, we're dancing on balcony. No, I have a special picture at home actually of Joe coming out with Hillary at the Northern Rail, which Carl were kind enough to send me, and I never forgot. Brilliant memories. The club's done it tough this year, but hopefully if they get the recruitment right, and I'm sure Carl will, and I'm sure Gary seems as keen as I've seen, so if they get this right for next year, I'm sure they can turn it round. And it's also sometimes good to take that step back, to have a look at where you are. And we did it the year we did it. I think we did it on a lot of young kids with a bit of experience, but we brought a bit of excitement to it. The Gales, Luke Gale and Bigsy and Carl Wood and Andreas and Zeb. We played, and I think that's something they can do next year. Play a brand of rugby that gets people interested, but let Doncaster see some young talent.
Yeah, listen, we've been here. The club's been in great shape for the last 5 or 6 years, and everything can't go smoothly all the time. We've been just going up and up and up, and sometimes you need these setbacks and these knocks to put you back on your feet, because if we're all honest, it's been cruising. We won the league first time in the history. We didn't put nowhere near as much money when I owned the club as Shane and Craig did, and
Craig more than Shane, by the way. Just get that on record.
We just built this culture where we were all together. Now, one thing I do want to applaud on the weekend, I tell you now, I was absolutely blown away by the supporters in the London game, because I haven't seen that in 6, 7, 8 years I've been involved. Even when we won the leagues and all that, I haven't seen them like they were in the London game. And obviously we ain't won a game, but for them to cheer and sing and have they were having a real good time right up until the 80th minute, and even taking the mickey out of the London doctor, because he kept getting up every time there was an injury. He didn't even go on the field, and they were saying to him, singing to him, "You'll never be a surgeon," and all this. It was fantastic. So I think what they've thought is, well, it's no good just getting on to the boys, and now they're singing their hearts out and cheering the boys on, and it was a real good feeling, and I'm really, really proud of them, because they could easily turn the other way and start shouting at the players and walking out, but not the Donny ones. The Donny ones, they're great, Craig. They you would have been proud of them. They were just they deserve a pat on the back for the way they performed on the weekend against London. And I know they'll do it again tomorrow against Featherstone, and they'll be there again against Whitehaven. So, we're not a poor team. For 60 minutes in most games, we're in them. So, we're ever now questioning the fitness levels of the players. Is that the issue? We don't know. But obviously Craig's got some top players who we're hoping to tap into for next season. Regardless if we're in the Championship or if we're in the Championship 1, I'm pretty sure with Craig's boys, I think we can do it right. What do you think? We can put a side together or what?
I think two of my boys scored 3 and 1 against Johnson. When you were talking there, Benelli would have got 3, didn't he? And Garside got 1, and Elliot got 1, I think.
So are they coming to Donny next year?
So yeah, that's off the press.
Are they?
No.
Have we agreed that, have we?
No, you're tighter than cramp. You'd have to get a little bit more loose in the old wallet, my son. No, I'm sure. Listen, I said to you, I agree with what you said there. What I think you had a hangover was you kept the side together, which is very loyal of you. And I think at the time as well, Paul Cookie were probably the best halfback that year in the comp. I think Paul's obviously legs were going and his age, and he had that much pressure with the job. I think that was a big hangover on the team, because when I came to watch you last year, you seemed to play really well, but he was the person who seemed to be like putting people in holes. He controlled it, he played to a tempo, it just looked class. And I think this year when I came, I noticed that were a different. So I think, for me, usually teams are won by 2 or 3 outstanding players in the standard they're in. And I think that's key for you next year, is to get 2 or 3 real quality signings who can play above. I know we've just mentioned 1 or 2 in there. I'm sure if you get 1 or 2 of them that's been talked about, Carl, you like you said, you did a fantastic job on a budget that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He never did the same for me.
We got promoted, Brett.
Yeah, well, we lost 400 grand. No. So yeah, I'm sure. Like I said, if you look at the teams who get promoted, I guarantee you one thing. Since I've been involved in the rugby league, there's always 2 or 3 players in their team who are probably above anything else in that standard.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key next year, especially in the league below, where it's going to be. You've probably only got 4 teams that are quite strong. You've probably got 7 that are not so strong. So you've got to make sure you score the points against the Keighley's and the Swintons and the Yorks. It won't be an easy task, but I'm sure if you get the players that have been talked about, you've got a chance.
So what you're sort of saying is similar to Super League. We need to look at sort of marquee players in a roundabout 100%. Way in this division 100%. Or the division below.
100% marquee players who you think, can we get him at Doncaster and throw a bit of endeavour and hard work like we've done before, like you did with bringing Paul Cook to this club.
Yeah.
I think 2 or 3, we call them X factors, don't we?
Yeah.
2 or 3 like that, who you can convince and say, look, maybe you should be playing at the standard above, but come with this journey, and if you come along with us, we can reward your loyalty. Maybe you know what I mean, and say to them, look, we've got something going here. We want to take this right through. Obviously, my fees are on the cap, and then
So what you're saying there is, you think you're going to we're going to try and get a few of your players. Will that lead to the return of Mr. Harrison with the Hawaii 5-0 on the stands?
You've asked me this year. You said to me, I think I've been twice this year, 3 times, and I sit on my own. I don't even tell you I'm here. Do I twice? I haven't told you I'm here. So I do like to come in. I'm sure I go where my players are. If we get 7 or 8 next year, Carl, I'll be here. And
Hawaii 5-0?
I will do the Hawaii 5-0, yes, so certainly.
We bring some shorts as well.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
He's only just come off the beach, mate. He's players. He's been meeting a few players down on Bridlington Beach today.
When this comes off, Carl, how will that affect the relationship with Hull FC and the dual reg?
Oh no. These players are the Craig's players will be looking at permanent. We've discussed that inside there about. Looking at, he did mention a few players that we should look at getting on loan, but we've got a loyalty to Hull, and Craig accepts that. So we know all about that. The players Craig's on about us bringing will be coming permanently, and kindly contribution of the funds will be kindly coming from the man. I think. He's all for Donny. Donny man. This is Donny man.
I briefly touched upon Paul Cook and it playing. What's the situation with him tomorrow night at Fev?
Oh, he'll be sitting in the stands watching, I would presume. He won't be playing, that's a certainty, but hopefully we can get that situation resolved soon for the best of all the parties, so everyone's comes out of it with what they want, and you know, we don't want to jeopardise Paul playing up. I think he's only got 4 games or something to get to 400, which is massive for him. There's no issue with Paul. You know, there's a couple of other things we need to iron out, but until we do that, you know, nothing will happen. We hope to have it resolved in the next few days.
You got a gun player from Sheffield to take in the 19. Is he going to go Mussolino?
Hey, we hope so. To be fair, mate, we tried to sign him last year, and then Bobby Goulding jumped in when he got the Barrow job, and I was talking to Bob about him, and then Bobby got the Barrow job and slipped in the back door and brought him over to Barrow. So in a roundabout way, it's took us probably 12, 16 months to get Ben, but you know, we're really looking forward to having him here, and who knows, he could stay longer. But you know, he's a quality player. He's played in the World Cup, and you know, with the strength and depth Sheffield's got in the back rows, just finding it a bit tough to get in. But I think he played against us this season, so he can play, and we know that. So, you know, we welcome him to the club, and hopefully he can do well. Obviously, losing the Groat was tough, you know, really gutting, but Matty will just train hard, and he'll come back. He'll be back here for the Hunslet game, which is the first game back at the Keep Note. So, you know, it'll be like uncaging a lion when he's going to come out in that Hunslet game, so we'll all look forward to that.